If you're a last-minute gift shopper, then Instacart is your holiday rescue app this season. No more tracking packages, no more trips to the post office, and no more Christmas gifts arriving in February. Instead, you can just download Instacart to order gifts like beauty, tech, and gourmet goods from local stores and get them delivered in as fast as 1 hour. Plus, right now, you'll get free delivery on your first 3 orders. This offer is valid for a limited time. $10 minimum per order. Additional terms apply. Must be 21 plus to purchase alcohol where available.
J360 Radio.
Hello, J360 Legion, and welcome to a J360 Mini Bite, hosted by J.M. Brady. And I'm your host, J.M. Brady. Let's get into it. So, what's up, people? How have you been? Yes, it is another week, finally. It's a big week, as a matter of fact. Things are coming to an end. Okay, temporarily, maybe, you know. Hey, everything's locked in for graduation, like I said last week, but this time I'm sure of it, because that final assignment just won't die. I mean, come on. How many more can they throw at me? I shouldn't really say that, right? Considering that we're in a state of flux on things. But hey, my stuff comes in the mail, so I'm not too worried about it, but I'm just like, you know, I really want to be done. Yeah, it's just one of them selfish wants I have, among other things. You know, like, damn sure don't want to be in Delaware anymore. I've pretty much seen the zenith of it. It's gotten really, really stupid around here. At least for me. I mean, like, you know, but I think it's because of other desires I have. Because, I mean, this is more or less, this is just stage 1. You see what I'm saying? Because, I mean, years ago, I could have had all that stuff together, bounced to any of these metropolitan areas and started J360 over there. But, it would have been a lot harder. I mean, at least over here, you know, things came together easier. You know, so I can't really knock Delaware too much, but I'm gonna. And, yeah, we finally hit it. We were well over 2,000 cases of people that have the COVID-19 disease. I'm sitting there thinking this. I'm like, I think I know why. Because quite a lot of people out there, they're not listening to any of this stuff. They're still doing the same things they've always been doing. And then, like, not to mention the issues where they were all at the beach and they were just hanging out. And it's so dumb sometimes. And you sit there and you see them. Of course, you got some people that got these crazy stay-at-home orders. And now they're protesting. They're out there in it. Like, a friend of mine, well, not really a friend, but a reliable source told me this. He said, well, you know, we're still at war, man. We're at war over security and liberty. And the thing is, they're imposing on our civil rights. And I'm like, well, they didn't have to wait till 2020 to do it. They've been after that stuff for a long time. I mean, as soon as they found out that irrational fear takes center stage, along with a pandemic or whatever, don't you know the powers that be will do what they can to try to pull wool over your eyes or find a way to go ahead and push an agenda so quick. But at the same time, though, you'll feel relieved about it. But you won't know what it entitles until it's too late. And they're doing what they can right now because they're sitting here talking about reopening. And I don't think reopening is a problem unless you've handled something right. You see what I'm saying? And as I've always said, we handled this crap very poorly. Because why does the case number goes up? You know? Why is it that it's hard to have some sort of treatment or get some testing or... You know what I'm saying? It's just people are so set in their ways. They don't take the time to adjust on things or try to do something a little different. Now, everybody's case is different. You know what I'm saying? Because you're probably thinking, oh, well, you know, you hate your job. Look, let me specify. You're right. You are absolutely right. But it's not the nature of the job. The nature of the job is so easy. It's ridiculously easy. It's irresponsibly easy, you know? The problem is that you got to deal with the idiocy of not only the mouth-breathing jerks that walk through the damn facility, but you also got to deal with the stupidity of the powers that be up in there. Like, management is so out of touch, it's ridiculous. Because you see, here at Peak Pandemic, we have a policy where you can call out whether you're sick or you're not comfortable working around the environment. And you see, the thing is, I've used it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie. I have. Some of you have noticed. But you see, as I've noticed it this time, and I really felt like sickness was taking over, because last weekend was a painful time for the gym, and I'll be honest with you. Man, I really felt like crap. And I took care of myself. For some reason, my manager, in his infinite ignorance, has found a way to try to make it seem like you calling out to take care of yourself is cardinal sin. Even during peak pandemic. And I'm sitting there looking at him, I'm like, give me one good reason why I shouldn't tell you about yourself right now and make sure you feel as impotent as possible, because you look really, really screwed up. And he's over here like, well, you know, Jay, I could have let you go if the attendance policy was in effect. But guess what? The attendance policy is not in effect. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm not in this stupid hellhole, usually there's something more important going on. Yeah, like I said, I don't have a problem working. I mean, I'll work anywhere. In addition to doing J360 Productions, but you all knew that. The thing about it is, I don't work like a boxer from Animal Farm. I work smart. You see what I'm saying? I'm always prepared for things, and, you know, usually jumping in and just getting all that stuff laid out, especially when I know what's going on. You see, these people, including that would-be supervisor of mine, they have no idea what the hell they're doing. If anything, they're just falling and flailing about, ass backwards as can be. And then they got the nerve to go ahead and make it seem like, you know, it's always somebody else's fault when something goes wrong. Just crybaby bull. And I sit there and I look at him. I'm like, well, people have been calling out. It has nothing to do with me. You see, I got an elderly father to take care of. One way or another, I don't want to come after hanging around for 8 hours and having the best fun ever, and I'm being sarcastic, and then I, you know, meet up with him, and then he gets infected, and he could possibly die from the crap, and then, you know, I'm not coming back from that. You understand what I'm saying, right? See, whereas I had my distance from people for years, I was always close to my dad. You know what I mean? I always had that strong male role model. Can't you tell? And you see, the thing about it is, even when he's sick, hurt, or whatever, I kind of change a lot. And you see, the thing about it is, if something like that was to happen, I would have lost that job big time. And probably had to serve a court sentence. Because you don't tell me what the hell is important. Like I said, I spend, you know, when you're somebody out there, see, for some reason, jobs or people involved in jobs, and they get like these titles, think that they're overbearing and that, well, no, they become overbearing. They think they can overlord on anybody. They think they can go ahead and try to put fear in people. One thing is, you can't put fear in me. I've seen and been through a lot of crap. I'm not scared of it. If you got something to say it. If you're going to go ahead and do what you got to do to try to fight me, I will fight you back. I'm not going to let you kick my ass. You know what I mean? Verbally, legally, or whatever. That's just who I am. But when it gets right down to it, don't try to put the fear into some people. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I could be on my deathbed and that fool will probably be wondering if I show up to work. And I'll be like this. No, I'm going to die. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so stupid how we got to this point. Because there's no reason for it, and there is no attendance policy. And then not only that, he's like, well, you know, other people, I don't care what other people think. I don't care how frustrated other people could be. And then he tried to grip at my heartstrings about my coworkers. Man, to hell with my coworkers sometime. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of them are cool as hell, but there's a lot of other ones that want to puff smoke up the manager's behind. I'm not one of those people. I never have been a kiss ass. Not at all. Like, I'll give respect where it's due, but I'm not going to bed with you. And there's quite a lot of people in there now, for some reason now, kissing up. I'm not. And he has a hard time understanding that. Well, not only that, but my would-be supervisor, he's scared to death. He thinks hiding behind the manager is going to save him. I'm like, hey, man, it only takes me a few seconds to go ahead and just swing a hook and knock you over. And then, at that point, I resign. I have to go to a court date, but I resign. And I'm always looking for a way to get up out of there, because there's a list of places I would love to work at, and I'm working on it right now. to go ahead and get where I need to be because homeboy is going west. I got things to do. Not to mention keep working on the show. And R&D has been going pretty well, I should say. So not too bad with it. No matter where I go, I can go ahead and do all these shows now. Oh, but I better go ahead and tie on the end of that. I never got intimidated that whole time I was in the office. I was ready to just shoot the crap and just sit back. It was almost the end of my shift anyway. And I'll call out whenever I need to. If I feel sick or if I don't feel comfortable, any of that kind of stuff, and I got plenty of PTO time, they can kiss my ass. I'm my own responsibility. I'm all I got. So one way or another, being an independent thinker is very, very important. So any of you out there that have been paying attention to any J360 shows, you know, I'll always advocate that. You just can't run with the group. You got to make a decision. See what I'm saying? So don't ever be a number, just be an individual. Individualism is very important. And it's stupid. Living a stupid time. But my selfish wants have always been in the way too. Like, I got to get out of my own way on certain things. Because if things are going to work out, they will. And the thing is just go ahead and keep planting seeds. Just like with R&D here. Like, you know, the portable setup took me a while to get there because the Beats headsets I got around here, they are showing their age. Not to mention, like, you know, they're not keeping a charge like they used to. So I had to go and get a new set. And how hard is it to find a good pair of wired headphones these days? Like, I mean, I really had to scour the internet to get some. Of course, things have changed because of COVID-19 being in our lives, but still, you know, it never hurts to get like a good pair of headsets with a built-in mic. That way so you can go ahead and sound clearly. I know some of you have probably seen the Power Play prototypes that I've been doing, and the sound gets kind of wonky. But you know, at the same time, nothing's perfect in Season 1. It's only going to get better. You just have to keep working on developing it. Like with the multi-stream, who would have thought that low bandwidth would come into my life? And I was sitting there waiting, you know, for the late time so that I wouldn't compete with anybody so I could go ahead and make sure this stuff works. But, yeah. But that's what these tests are for, you know? And if anything, you know, if that becomes an issue, I'm just going to have to do it in a different sort of scenario. Because I might have to bring the old-fashioned way back. Yeah, there's two ways I can do that. I can do it live, or I can do it the old-fashioned way. And I think the old-fashioned way may be an option. But either way, I got tons of content for you. So that's all that really matters. And I was sitting there working on a few things because episode 150 is going to happen tomorrow. But I was sitting there thinking this. What are going to be the minimal cutoffs of these shows? Because yes, I am going to produce forever. That's never going to stop. This is the high life, y'all. Especially when you can make some monetization and greenbacks from it. Okay, it's not always about the money. It's about who I inspire. And it's about where I'm going on the journey. I'll tell you that. I ain't greedy, but you know, at the same time, I mean, $1 million is $1 million. $1 billion is $1 billion. If I had it, yeah. Like I said, I got money, but I am not a millionaire. But, you know, looking into it, though, it's just a lot of things I'm reaching for. Is it too much at one time? Probably. But hell, I want it. And in some cases, I need it. Change of pace will be good for me. Just to get away from all this nonsense over here. Yep. So, I'm just going to go ahead and just keep it on the vision board and just do what needs to be done. I'm not too worried about the day job. It can come and go as it needs to, and by the time it's gone, I'm not going to miss it. I'll be like this. Okay. No crying at all. And then thinking about the cutoffs, well, minimal cutoffs, I would say for the J-Man show would be 500. 500 episodes, we'll see. And then for the mini bites alone, the mini bites have always been very interesting. Like, you know, I could just do that, like, everything's got a potential, right? I would say, like, the cutoff point for mini bites would be, like, maybe 100 to 200, usually. See how that goes. But I always loved this show because it grew into its own around episode 7. Yeah, one way or another, it grew into its own. And I'll be doing more of these after a while because I was thinking about doing a double special with them, but it ain't going to happen now. So I'm still trying to find some other stuff around here. Oh, wow. That Strat only costs us like... Hey, I gotta go ahead and see how much this guitar costs. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I'll be back tomorrow with episode 150. You all look forward to it. It's gonna be really good. And you take care of yourselves, okay? This is the J-Man signing off. Peace.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.